let's do some boat repairs. Well, if you have seen my video where I went out fishing, you noticed that there was some issues with the boat trailer. And so I needed to make some repairs fast because the wife wants to go out with me and she's talking about setting catfish lines, and so I decided I'd make some much needed repairs to the trailer that I could do that'd be fairly inexpensive and makes it legal and safe. So that this is just some stuff that minor repairs need to be done, but stick to the end because I do have a question. I need your help on something. Well, I'm laying on my back. That ain't good. Let's fix a boat. I'm under the boat here and I'm trying to fix the issue with the boat's electrical wiring problem. So this is one of two issues I got to fix, big issues. Got some other issues I'll fix later, but that'll be for another video. So this is going to be a quick down and dirty. It looks like one of the parts arrived for the second fix. Ups man just came. But anyway, stick around, I'll show you what's happening. Alright, so this is the underneath side of the boat. So you can see all the little special caulking and stuff done to keep the boat nice and stable and all that. So here's the wiring, and it's hard to see, but right here you can see where it's worn out. It's hard to see, but I'll show you. There's something on the camera lens and I just don't have time to clean it. But this right here is where we had the breakdown. That's corrosion. So there was something that got into this line that corroded it. I'm going to fix it. And once I get this fixed, that should solve for this problem. Are we having fun yet? Nothing feels better than hard ground on a back that's been broken in 3 spots. Yay. Alright, so what we have here, trying to show it, I've got this in the 18 gauge stripper. I'm having to operate my camera with one hand. Sorry for the helicopters. That's the sound of freedom. That's military training helicopters. We have 6 military bases surrounding us, so you can't get away from helicopter sounds. Anyway, so I've got it in 18 gauge stripper. I've already stripped off one of the sides here, and I've already stripped off these others right there. So I'm gonna continue on, and from there I will show you the next step. If you remember, a while back I was trying to find some shrink tubing with the solder in it. I found it, so I've run this through. I'm going to connect yellow to yellow, brown to brown, and once I've connected the two, I'm going to use the heat gun and we're going to shrink wrap and solder at the same time, which makes this freaking awesome. Okay, so if you can see this, I've already done this first one. What I'm going to do, I can't operate the camera and hold everything. I don't have 5 arms, unfortunately. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 2 wires, web them together, and then twist them. We'll run them back through until that twist is right under what I'm assuming is gallium. This metal piece, I'm thinking it's gallium. And then when I heat it, it'll shrink down and the metal solder will melt down, and that will make my connector. So it's hard to see, but I've rolled or twisted this together. Now I'm going to fit the sleeve over it and then run the heat gun over it. go. You can see the light right there working. Now we'll turn on the blinker and make sure that that's working. The blinker's working. So, see that. So now, what we're going to do is I'm going to do the other side because it has that connector, and I just hate that connector, and I'm pretty sure if one side is about corroded out, the other side is. The next thing I've got to do is go to the hardware store because I am out of electrical tape unless I find some around the house somewhere. Okay, so I looked through the boat and right there seemed to be a repair that was previously done. So we don't have to do one on the other side, thank God. So the next thing I'm going to do is fix this right here. I can't find any tape, so I've got to go to the store. I'm going to get tape. I'll have to go to a boat ramp and get this off. While I'm at it, I'm going to see if I can't get that chain off. If I can get the chain off while I'm getting the duct tape, or not duct tape, electrical tape, I'm probably going to run to the hardware store and get me about 4 inches more chain, or a piece of chain 4 inches longer, and attach a new chain. So on this boat, these nuts are 3/4 inch and these bolts are 3/4 inch. I didn't have a 3/4 inch wrench, or yeah, so I used a basically a adjustable spanner, monkey wrench, and now it's got these big giant bolts. I already took the 2 bolts and 2 washers off, and I'm trying to get this off so that I can take it to the store and get some extra long chain. I'll take it to the boat ramp, and then these right here, I'll take this off and put on a new roller that just came in while I was fixing this, and we should be about there, at least for the majority of the repairs. I still have an issue right over here. I need to set up some type of system where I've got some runners to keep the boat inside of the trailer, and also so I can find the trailer, because I have to kind of go far out into the water sometimes with these boat ramps. I would prefer not to have to do that. So I'm going to work on this for a bit, and I'll come back in a minute and show you when I'm done. And again, pardon the helicopter noise fixing to come over, but what I wanted to show you here, look at this chain. It is so small that I have to take this totally out. This is a safety protocol. So that's something to consider when you're doing this and you're going to put a chain on. Make sure that the chain can never slip over the nut. I've seen some that was questionable. I'm just glad that they didn't have it welded. I have seen some that's welded, and at least here in Florida, what happens is the salt water will eventually hit the weld, and the weld will rust, and people have their chains just pop off thinking that it was secure. So the bolt is a much better idea, and making sure that your chain cannot go over that bolt nut no matter how hard you try is a great safety protocol. So whoever did this, I mean, there's issues I hate with this trailer, but there's other issues I'm like, they really did take some thought into some of this. Well, that's off. Time to go to the stove. Well, the wife was super nice and ran to the hardware store for me and got me some electrical tape and some chain. So I've got the electrical tape here. We're going to go ahead and get out from under here and hook up the chain now, since everything's taped up. Alright, so I told the wife when I sent her to a hardware store I needed 6 more inches. She laughed, I laughed. Anywho, alright, so this is 6 inches longer. You'll see that the links are not exactly the same size, but what I'm worried about is it slipping over this, and that right there is roughly the same width, and there's about the same, just a little bit more spacing this way long ways, but that will not impact this because it cannot slip over and cannot be turned around and kind of fit into here anyway. So I've tried every way I can to get this through without you know, just running this through like that. You always want to double check just to make sure, but this right here will be safe. That's the main thing. I want this, safety is key. So I'm gonna hook this chain up, and that will allow me to hook here. I should have no problems now. And then that will actually take care of one of the aforementioned fixes that I want to do, but there's still other fixes, so I'll just incorporate stuff that I've been putting off into future videos. So let's get this on now. I did want to show 2 differences. If you'll look at the end, there's a slight difference. This is the one where the bolt went through. If you'll look, you'll see where it had been beaten on. The reason for that, this opening is too narrow otherwise. So I've got to take this chain, put on a block or something other, and pound it with a hammer to open this up some. So this is gonna be fun. Okay guys, so I tried hammering it. I busted a brick, about busted a paving stone. I busted brick several times. It's now dust. About busted out the paving stone. Is 4-inch thick paving stone. You can see where I flattened that out, and that didn't do any good. So in order to widen this out, I actually took a railroad spike that I had, because we have railroads everywhere and the spikes come out. Railroads stay in atrocious conditions around here, so you're always able to find a spike along the way. And I put it into an old stump, and I just kept beating it until I finally got it far enough around that I was able to get this bolt in. So now we're going to put this in and hopefully get everything connected, and I'll show you when it's connected. Alrighty, that is done. Got a little bit of slack in it. That's totally fine. This right here, if it comes off, that's fine. I've got plenty of room at the back of the boat because the boat trailer is a little long. It'll keep the boat at least connected. But when I'm in water that's kind of weird, I've got a little slack to hook it to the trailer. That's good. I'm happy with that. I'm going to keep the chain just as a backup in case something happens, but I shouldn't need it. But you never know when you need chain. Alright, so that's all good. Everything is as it should be. We're going to change this out, probably not today. We may do it a different day, I don't know. But this is the next thing to do. Alright, so the wife's at the public boat ramp with the boat. I'm here. I'm just going to take this off and replace it with this new one. So just take the bolt off and put the new bolt on. Alright, so that's the busted one. That's the fixed one. Simple, easy fix. Now I gotta go load up the truck, or load up the boat again. We're ready to roll. So the wind is whipping. I'm hoping that it won't mess up the audio too bad. We've had some bad thunderstorms off and on all day long. But I wanted to talk about this chain because my wife was telling me the story. Evidently when she went to the hardware store and told the guy that she wanted the same type of chain but only 6 inches longer, And she showed him the original chain. He cut it, and she looked at it, she going, that don't look like 6 inches to me. And so he looked at her funny. He said, you really want me to whip out a tape measure and measure it? She's like, yes. So pro tip of the week, anytime that you're wanting to or you're needing something longer, make them whip out a tape measure and prove it. All right, with that, I do want to kind of go over some other stuff. I don't really like this winch here. It doesn't ratchet. It's an old type of winch. So in a future video, we're probably going to be changing this out, and I'll show you that. Now, I've got another issue I want to talk about. All right, I don't know how easily you can tell, but this boat trailer really isn't made for this boat. It's just a little bit too big for the boat. Not too much, but just enough to be a pain in the butt. And so I've been racking my brain trying to come up with a way of getting some runners up to guide it. And they make, what I would like is something kind of a little bit thicker and then tapered up, that kind of contour around the boat a little bit. They make some guides, but you're looking at almost $200. And they got some cheaper ones, but it's just metal, and the metal, it can damage the boat. You can put some foam around the cheap ones, and they make these little sock things that go over where you put the foam around the metal post, but they want $50 just for the canvas socks. So I was looking at some options, and I was able to find something in female retail. And so the female retail, I was going to be able to get something that was soft enough not to do damage, but firm enough that would be able to handle a little bit of movement, and I could just easily drive my boat right in between them. Beautiful guideposts, and all I had to do is spray paint them. They look brand new even though they were used, and they'd be easy to attach to the boat trailer. But when I told my wife that I wanted 2 mannequin legs sticking up as my guideposts, she told me absolutely not, and put a kibosh on everything. Even though I told her, I said, well, I took, I got the inspiration from you. That didn't work. So I don't know anybody that deals in metal with aluminum, and you can't have anything that is non-aluminum here in Florida, because it'll just rust out if it's just made of iron. So give me some ideas. I would like some input on what I can use for guideposts, or should I just bite the bullet and spend $200 that I don't have? So that's going to be it. That'll be a future video, but something I want to talk about. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. Again, there's going to be a lot of repairs need to be done on trailer, and there's some stuff I need to do to the boat. Not to mention that if we get up enough subscribers and we actually start getting paid from YouTube, I would love to install a camera system, but that camera system, $200 and something, and I just can't fork it over right now. I've got, every time I turn around, it's only $300, only $200, oh, it's $5,000. I'm being nickel and dime to death, so I just can't swing it. I can't justify it. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please put your suggestions down on what to do with the guide system. I just don't know with that. Comment with any other suggestions you might have, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.